I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim Porter?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Piers.
Listen, like I said, Jay Z and Beyoncé are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
yes.
A new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy.
You know how everyone's been talking about Jay Z and Beyoncé lately? Well, people online think they finally figured out why. And the whole thing is connected to a woman from Jay's past named Cathy White, who sadly passed away. The story going around is pretty wild. It claims that a long time ago, Jay Z was secretly having an affair with Cathy White behind Beyoncé's back. When Beyoncé found out, she was obviously really upset. But instead of breaking up, they supposedly came up with a strange and secret plan. Beyoncé apparently wanted to have a baby. The rumor says that she and Jay made a deal with Cathy White for her to be their surrogate. That means Cathy would carry and give birth to their baby for them. To make everyone believe the baby was hers, Beyoncé is accused of faking her own pregnancy by wearing one of those fake baby bumps in public. So, the story goes that Cathy White gave birth to their daughter, Blue Ivy. But then, things took a dark turn. After Cathy did what she agreed to do, the rumor says that Beyoncé and Jay Z were worried she would tell everyone their secret. People are now accusing them of being involved in Cathy's death to keep her quiet. At the time, the news reports said Cathy died naturally from a sudden brain aneurysm. But a lot of people never believe that. A blogger named Hollywood Street King was the first person to talk about this. He said that just a few days before she died, Cathy sent him a message saying she was scared and that her life was in danger. After she passed away, he did his own investigation and wrote a big article about Jay Z's affair with Cathy. But then, he was supposedly forced to take the article down from his website. He says someone made him delete it to hide the truth. Now, with all the recent drama, people have found that old article again. In it, he talks about being the first to reveal that Cathy was Jay Z's mistress. He even said that a famous friend of Cathy's named Claudia Jordan could confirm the story, because Claudia is the one who actually introduced Jay and Cathy in the first place. The blogger even had pictures of them all together at a club just weeks before Cathy died. So now, these old rumors are flying around the internet again. A singer named Jaguar Wright has been talking about it a lot lately, saying she believes Beyoncé and Jay Z had something to do with Cathy's death. And it doesn't look like she's going to stop talking about it anytime soon. Just to be clear, Claudia Jordan was Cathy White's best friend. A lot of people talking about the story mention her because she's the one who supposedly introduced Jay Z and Cathy in the first place. Remember her name, because it might come up again later. Now, back to what the blogger, Hollywood Street King, found out. He said that as soon as he heard Cathy had died, he started asking his own questions. He claims that the story everyone was hearing, that she died from a brain aneurysm, wasn't true, at least not at first. According to him, a detective with the New York Police Department told him that the cops weren't sure how she died yet. They were waiting for the results from an autopsy and a toxicology report, which is a test that looks for poison or drugs in a person's body. The detective said her death was being treated as suspicious, meaning it might not have been an accident or from natural causes. Here's what he said happened. Someone called 911 from an apartment in Manhattan because Cathy was very sick. An ambulance took her to the hospital, but she died there. The blogger thought it was way too soon for anyone to say it was an aneurysm. They had to do the tests first. He also dropped a huge piece of information. He said that just 2 weeks before she died, a big tabloid newspaper had contacted Cathy because they were looking into her connection with Jay Z. Cathy didn't tell them much, but after she hung up, she apparently called Jay Z himself. She told him that if he didn't pay her, she would go public and tell the world about their secret affair. Then, just a little over 2 days after everyone found out Beyoncé was pregnant with Jay's baby, Cathy suddenly died. A lot of people online have looked at the dates and think the timing is really suspicious. Cathy died very close to when Blue Ivy was supposedly born, which makes them think her death was convenient for someone who wanted a secret kept forever. This made a lot of people look back at old videos of Beyoncé when she was supposedly pregnant. One video in particular went viral because it shows her sitting down and her baby bump seems to cave in and fold in a way that looks like fake padding, not a real pregnant belly. And finally, people are even looking at Beyoncé's music for clues. Last year, she released a song called Daughter. Some listeners think the lyrics are a secret confession about this whole situation. They speculate the song is about Blue Ivy and the awful secret of what Beyoncé might have felt she had to do to protect her family, even referencing harming her partner's mistress. They think the song is her way of admitting to everything.
Allegedly, the song Daughter on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter album.
I love that one.
It's potentially a murder confession about Jay Z's mistress, Cathy White.
What?
Buckle up. On August 28th, 2011, Beyoncé announced her pregnancy at the MTV VMAs.
Iconic.
On January 7th, 2012, Blue Ivy was born into this world. In 2016, Beyoncé dropped Lemonade. Now, as we all know, Lemonade was a true album about infidelity. Jay Z was rumored to have a very long time mistress. People knew of Cathy White because of Jay Z, okay?
Yikes.
So here's where it gets a little crazy. Cathy White was known to be pregnant in 2011. Shortly after giving birth, Cathy died mysteriously in her apartment of a brain aneurysm.
I have a feeling this is related.
Now, even though we saw Beyoncé's bump publicly, there's a video of Beyoncé sitting down for an interview and her whole stomach just deflates in the video, and it's very weird.
This is crazy.
If you listen to Daughter, the song completely illustrates a murder confession. The lyrics in the song say, "Your body laid out on these filthy floors, your bloodstains on my custom coutures. Bathroom attendant let me right in. She was a big fan. I tried to stay cool, but your arrogance disturbed my solitude. Now I ripped your dress and you're all black and blue. Look what you made me do." So fans are speculating that Beyoncé had Cathy White kissed after Cathy White had the baby and claimed the baby as her own, and that baby is Blue Ivy.
So, to put all the rumors together, this is the story people are telling online. They believe that Cathy White was much more than just Jay Z's mistress. The big theory is that she was hired to be a surrogate. A surrogate is a woman who carries and gives birth to a baby for another couple who can't have a child on their own. In this case, the story says that after Beyoncé found out about the affair, she and Jay made a deal with Cathy. Cathy would carry their baby for them. After the baby was born, Beyoncé would raise it as her own. The rumors claim that this baby is Blue Ivy. But then, the story takes a really dark turn. People online speculate that after Cathy gave birth to Blue, Beyoncé and Jay were afraid she would tell everyone the truth. The accusation is that to keep their secret safe forever, Beyoncé had Cathy killed. That way, she could claim Blue was her own daughter and no one could ever say otherwise. A lot of people who believe this theory say it actually makes sense to them. They point out that Blue Ivy looks a lot like Beyoncé, which would be natural if Bey is her real biological mother. They think this is proof that Cathy was just the oven for the bun, meaning she only carried the baby that was made from Beyoncé's egg and Jay's sperm. To make this theory seem even more real, people have dug up some creepy lyrics from a very old, angry song by Beyoncé called Anger. In the song, she uses some really intense and graphic poetry. She sings about being so jealous and desperate to keep her man that she would do something truly horrifying, wear the skin and cut the hair of her husband's dead lover. People who believe the rumor point to these lyrics and say it's like she accidentally told on herself years ago, describing a twisted fantasy that might have later become a real-life nightmare. They hear those words not as just art, but as a dark confession.
If it's what you truly want, I can wear her skin over mine, her hair over mine. Her hands as gloves. Her teeth as confetti. Her scalp a cap. Her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph. All three of us. Immortalized. You and your perfect girl.
And just when you thought the story couldn't get any more complicated, a singer named Jaguar Wright decided to speak up. She's known for not being afraid to talk about famous people's business, and she had a lot to say about this situation. She didn't hold back at all. Jaguar jumped right into the online conversation and started sharing her own thoughts and stories. She made it very clear that she believes the rumors about Jay Z and Beyoncé are true. She didn't just repeat what others were saying. She added her own details and claims, making the whole story feel even bigger and more serious. By speaking out so boldly, she made a lot more people pay attention to the rumors, turning the online whispers into a much louder discussion that a lot more folks are talking about now.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Cathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get fucked over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere. Which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties. To walk mother out. Cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You, Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Oof. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Cathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
It's super important to remember that none of these wild stories have been proven true. They are just rumors and speculation that a lot of people are talking about online. But that isn't stopping folks from pointing fingers and sharing their own theories. One person online commented, "When I saw that video of Beyoncé's stomach folding on a talk show, I knew something was up. It made me wonder why she would be faking a pregnancy. Then, I heard the news that Jay Z's mistress, Cathy, had died and that she was pregnant around the same time. It just felt like 2 + 2 = 4. They hurt Cathy and took her baby. I honestly think someone should check Cathy's grave to see if a baby is buried with her. I have a strong feeling it's empty because I believe Cathy's baby is Blue Ivy Carter." Another person added their own thought, saying, "I also have a feeling that because Cathy was the one who was actually, physically pregnant, it made Beyoncé incredibly jealous and angry. That jealousy is what made her decide to fake her own pregnancy to compete and save her pride. You can probably guess how the rest of the story goes. But now, I really want to know what you think about all of this. What is your opinion on the allegations that Jay Z and Beyoncé were involved in Cathy's death? And do you believe the theory that Blue Ivy is actually Cathy's biological daughter? Let me know your thoughts and your own theories down in the comment section below. And don't forget to click right here to watch another one of our juicy and messy videos.